edition of Artifact Highlight. Often I ramble on incoherently for 5 minutes about railroad memorabilia, or newspapers, or magazines. But today I have something a bit higher tier, at least in terms of getting us close to the term artifact. Today we'll be looking at this. A World War II German helmet. Now while it is heavily worn out and looks like it went for Stalingrad or something, that is not the case. I will discuss the helmet's later history in a bit, but first I'm going to go for the overall history of this type of helmet. Possibly the most iconic of field equipment of the Second World War is this type of helmet, which is called an M35 Stahlhelm. The design was commissioned in 1935, just a couple of years after the Nazi Party came into power. They wanted an updated design of the classic trench helmet that the Germans had used during the First World War. The advantage of these was, in fact, the curved rims you see back here. They provide better neck protection, and also the helmet will provide overall better ear protection. However, the issue was the Wehrmacht grew so quickly in the latter half of the decade that Germany was never fully able to produce enough helmets for the soldiers. Many in the Wehrmacht were still wearing World War I helmets during parts of World War II. This helmet in particular belonged to someone in the Luftwaffe due to this eagle and swastika design on the left side of the helmet. Might be very hard to make out. I'll take a photo of it later on. You can make it out right there. This design, though, I believe, in fact, to be the design that the Luftwaffe used between 1937 and 1945. The opposite side of the helmet also had a tricolor design. You can see the tricolor decal there. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. It's very worn out, obviously. Now, the tricolor decal, the National Socialists designed it in the later half of the 1930s. It was supposed to express a more unified look compared to the old state colors that the German soldiers were using. Now, over time, what happened was many soldiers ended up just painting over the helmets, and it would end up painting over the decals with camouflage. So not often do you really find the decals on both decals on this type of helmet. I believe this helmet to have been made between 1937 and 1940. This is because in March of 1940, they stopped adding the tricolor decal. The SS in particular adopted the practice of painting over the decals, for they noticed the decals attracted enemy gunfire. And by 1942, a new and cheaper design known as the M42 was created that did away with the curving of the rim. Helmets grew more and more crude as the war came to a close. Now, this helmet must have sat in surplus for much of the war, or if somebody, whoever owned it, never wore it, because while it's rusted over, both decals are on here, and they've never really been painted over. This helmet also had an afterlife of being used as a biker's helmet in the 60s and the 70s, before sitting out for several years. And now it sits in my history room, on a cat scratcher. For my cats never use it, and I need something displayed on that's cheap. I'm so creative. Woo. Anyways, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this video. If you would like more videos like these, be sure to hit that like button. Comments are also very appreciated. I not only do these artifact highlight videos on Saturdays or Sundays, but also do videos on my ever-growing DVD collection, which you can see up here. I also do videos on rail fanning, where I'm a crazy person that stands out next to the tracks and records the trains going by, because I have nothing else to do in my life. And I also do videos on various travels, like going to festivals and museums. If any of these topics interest you, then I would really appreciate if you guys would subscribe to the channel. Until then, see yous later.